Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Can you repeat the question? You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. And you're not so big. You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. And you're not so big. Life is unfair.
November 9th, 2022, Degenerates Unite Weekly. Hello, it's your boy, DJ Smearman, back in the booth. I'm joined by Jeremy. What's going on, bud?
Hey. Hi.
Hi. It's been a long time, obviously. It's been ages. I mean, we had the kickoff.
Such a long time. Boston.
We had the kickoff special. Obviously, it was a hit. Everyone loved it. Everyone kept commenting on it.
Great feedback.
A lot of great feedback. Everyone kept commenting on it, saying it was better than last year's, and everyone was crazy. They were like pulling their hair out. It was nuts. I had to just say, hey, guys, take a step back. Calm down. We're just normal people like you guys. We just, we're just more talented or whatever. But here we are. We just got through week 9. We're going into week 10, and we thought it would be a good time to do the, as we call it, the DU in the Middle 2022 Midseason Report. That is a play on words for Malcolm in the Middle. Great show. Aired on Fox, I think in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I remember football specific, the episode after the Super Bowl.
Really? It focused on football?
They were in a traffic jam.
Oh,
the whole episode.
Gotcha.
High concept.
That's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Simple. I always liked the black kid in the wheelchair. I thought he was hilarious with the breathing problem.
Yeah, you put one of those in your show, you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Great show. So we'll, I don't think we're going to theme anything around it, but that's the title of the mid-season report. There are a few housekeeping notes we want to go over here. So obviously after the kickoff special was super successful, I started getting a lot of DMs. Amy, Benz, Evan, they go, what is up with Profit Apparel? And that's like a bunch of fire emojis and like, where can I get one? They said the website's dark, it's not working. And I just have to say, listen, guys,
it is on the dark web, right?
It is on the dark web, exactly. So I just want to let everyone know that we still are innovating. We are still creating. We are still sewing our visions together of this giant apparel company called Profit. And I've been working with my new best friend Henry B, as I think I mentioned him in the kickoff special. I've been picking him up from school.
Oh, the kid you're grooming?
No, I mean, I think he gets his own haircuts. I think he has his own barber, but like, we've been, hanging out after school all the time, been picking him up, going to get McDonald's and Taco Bell. I'm paying for all of it. And it's just like, he just gets me, I'm at that part of my life where, I need the younger crew to just kind of worship me or just like hang out with me and stuff like that. So we have a really good thing going on, and we're in the lab almost every day. Music, fashion, Beats, exactly. So you should hear more about Profit Apparel in the near future. We are trying to fix that waistband issue. I don't know if people noticed, but I'm hard to miss it. But the waistband kept coming up almost to my tits on those sweatshirts. But we have ideas of how to get around those bad boys, and you should be hearing more about apparel, Profit Apparel in the near future. So stay tuned for more of that news.
It's exciting.
Absolutely. And then there's another thing I wanted to talk about, and that's the trading draft picks. Here we go. Year 2 of super teams. And I was just thinking, man, I'm a little bit worried about the interest level from the league. Now that we're like more than a little bit halfway through the season and teams are trading away, other teams are getting more super teams. So we will be making more moves in the near future to make it more accessible. And one of those ideas is possibly next year adding more playoff teams, because if there's 6 playoff teams in the league, then teams will think that they can sneak into the playoffs and this and that. Hey, I have a chance, even though I'm 2-5, I still can. The guy in 6th place right now is like 4-4, like whatever it is. The math works out. So these are the ideas that we're coming up with to try to make it better and keep the interest. I want to know what everyone's interest levels are at right now. So subscribe and write in the chat 0 through 10 your interest level in the league right now. That would be very helpful for us. So yeah, those are pretty much all the housekeeping notes from the commissioner. Profit apparel number 1, trading draft picks number 2, and we might as well not beat around the bush and jump right into the Bro Down Showdown. And I'll start with my game, or should I say our game.
That's an interesting week to pick to do the podcast. It's like when you knew you were going to beat me.
It was a little strange. If anything, it would have been better to do it last week so we can kind of preview. Obviously, our matchup would have been the matchup to watch and all eyes on us. But I do have you by the horns here, it seems.
Yeah, by the short and curlies.
I got Don Juan DeMarco beating Diggs. I do that 112-97. Yeah, this was me versus Jeremy, the host podcast off. And I just got the better of him by not a huge margin. I had a ruthless bye week. Most of my team was on bye, but I made some moves a week or two before to kind of prepare myself for this. And I picked up A.J. Dillon, who is such a load. He's just such a load. He's a loser. I hate A.J. Dillon. He's so fat, he can barely get through the holes, and he's not fast enough to get away from people. And he's not strong enough to, like, knock people over either. He had 2 chances at the 1-yard line touchdown, and he got stuffed both times. Like, if you're a guy the size of Jerome Bettis with the strength of, I guess, Steve Urkel, you're not going to be fucking very effective in the NFL. So back to the heap. Well, I got to see what Aaron Jones is doing if he's really injured. But he will most likely be going back to the heap. And Jeremy, why don't you tell us about what happened on your side?
Oh, well, I didn't have a first-round pick this year, so I kind of just, strung together a team and got some good wins. But, things happen towards the end of the season, and can't blame it all on buys or injuries or anything. It was just, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is nothing, basically. He's hardly on the team. Somehow scored touchdowns a bunch this year, but and then I had to stream the tight end, and really the only thing I had going for me was Kenyon Drake, waiver wire pickup, and really the only running back for the Ravens, and 23 points.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. You did start hot this year. It was the Stephon Diggs, Josh Jacobs, and like you mentioned, Clyde Edwards-Helaire early in the season. It seemed like he was the guy to own over there, and then they're like, no, we're going to go to Pacheco now. And then now Clyde is just kind of whatever.
Well, they were, even in like the little Yahoo write-ups, they'd be like, well, he's the number 1 running back on like the best offense in football, but he sucks, and like a baby with broken legs could have scored that touchdown. And
fair.
The rating was on the wall.
Gotcha. Well, still only going into week 10, so we'll see what happens.
And next we have 100% that Mitch, Jason, beating Murray of Hope, T-Max team. Coincidentally enough, these two just made a trade, like you said, involving draft picks, 1st and 3rd.
No, it was just a 1st for a 7th.
Oh, 1st for a 7th.
Yep.
I think just kind of just goes to show more than anything, Jason's kind of scared, and we'll see how that pans out for him. But he won this week, 132-101. Big score there was Devontae Adams, who had 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, come on. And then I don't know his first name, Kemba Walker III.
Kemba Walker III, yep.
Kenneth Walker. The guy on the Seahawks who are an absolutely juggernaut on the offensive side of the ball this year.
Oddly enough.
Nobody saw coming.
Nope.
He got 26 points. And then that New England defense, which has just been ferocious these last couple of weeks. You're scoring them 28. When you get 28 points to your defense, it's a guaranteed win right there.
Pretty much curtains.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, you had T-Mac, Kyler Murray, Tyler Lockett got a touchdown. Travis Etienne, who he just traded to Jason, 25 points. So Etienne They obviously traded James Robinson a few weeks ago to the Jets, so they have full confidence that ETN is the guy. And ever since he got that role, he's been pretty stellar since then. And good enough to get a first-round pick from Jason for him. So I think if you're T-Mac, you made the right move there. The season definitely got away from you. I think he's second in the league as far as points against. So it's just unlucky. And he's striking while the iron's hot because the trade deadline is November 19th, so about 10 days away. So teams are going to have to start really thinking about what their next move is and if they have a chance in this league. So big win for Jason to hold on to that division lead over there. All right, moving on to the next game, we got that dog in him beating. Check out my Johnson, 112-69. Ben's has been great this year, so he did not have a first round pick this year, and he is absolutely in the running. He's actually leading the league in points as of this week because Nick's been trending downwards a little bit. So Benz jumps into the overall points leader out of nowhere, and he owes a lot of that to the stack of Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, who have been pretty fire since the start of the season. Jalen Hurts might even be MVP candidate right now with him and Patrick Mahomes. And then ever since he got DeAndre
let's not
Hopkins,
forget he did. Obviously he drafted those two players, and good for him. And he had a good team, but he did also trade.
He did.
He traded to be a super team this year.
He did. Which I don't respect. No,
especially after last year's debacle where he didn't even make the playoffs.
True. So this is like a revenge year for him. Just like
against himself.
That was a fluke. I have to beat myself now. So he did trade for Dalvin Cook, who got a touchdown. And then ever since he got DeAndre Hopkins back, he's been stellar. So he's got himself a nice little super team, and then he's got Travis Kelce. How many targets did Travis Kelce get this last weekend? Do you know off the top of your head?
No.
17 targets,
wow.
Which is pretty insane. And then on the other side, you had Check Out My Johnson. That's Amy. She ended up trading her pick away to Benz. Oh, that was the trade with Benz. Okay, so these guys are just playing each other and then trading or whatever it is. And you know, DJ Moore, poor guy. You know, I thought he was on the up and up, but then he just came back down to earth. Jared Goff, really not much to talk about. Barely anybody got double digits other than Garrett Wilson and Jamal Williams. But other than that, she's going to be looking to next year. She's got some picks.
Started Taysom Hill this week. I gotta say, the highlight of my season was picking him up for a start to stream, and he scored a touchdown.
Oh yes, yep.
You know, that's it doesn't happen that often.
I thought you were gonna say you started him on his 4 touchdown game, and I would have fucking dropped a loaf. So that was that matchup. Benz controls the division, and Amy is looking forward to next year.
And next matchup, we got Mackin' on Dem Hoes, Evan's team beating Tailor Made Men, Ryan's squad. Evan won. Derrick Henry, another huge week, 115 yards, two tutties. And then Michael Carter on the Jets.
Yep.
Another kind of like I wouldn't say like a surprise that he's the number 1 running back there, but he's had a couple good weeks and then a lot of stinky, shitty weeks. But 15 points, that's not bad.
Take that.
And then Nick Folk couldn't get 5 field goals like he had the week before, but 3, and he gets 17 points out of it. So
damn.
It's I always find it embarrassing if you're kind of getting carried by a kicker. Personally,
Evan was the person I traded with for a draft pick, so he gave up Mahomes and CeeDee Lamb. So his team was a lot more better, I guess, before he traded with me. But I think I got him at the after a bad loss, and I think he had just given up hope at that point. So on to next year for Evan.
It's throughout the year you can kind of like hope to climb out of a hole. It's just not going to happen.
No. A lot of top heavy teams.
And then Ryan's team, Tyreek Hill went off. He's been a monster. Always has been. And Joe Burrow, 20 points. And then kind of goose egg with
Ronnie
having
Rivers?
to start the Rams. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea who that is. I don't know what the hell's going on with them, the Cam Akers situation. I guess he played this week.
I think he hates all of his running backs, I think, the coach, McVay. So I don't know. He's just, I don't know. I don't understand. Moving on to the next game. It's fine. I'll start Thielen beating Hurricane Me. 95-84. Nick scrapes by with a win again. Putting up.
One. The only guy who beat him was me.
Really? That's actually pretty
Yeah.
cool. Good for you.
Cool stat.
I love that.
Yep.
He should have lost last week against Dobby is a Slave because Nick put up the second lowest points on the week. Fortunately for him, Brian ended up putting the lowest points up for the week, so he ended up getting a win with that. And then this week, he ends up putting up 95 points and getting 26 from Josh Allen, so that should tell you how the rest of the team did.
And these are 2 super teams, so let's keep that in mind.
This is true. And I
mean, this is pathetic.
Neither could put up 100. Sad.
No.
Nick has run into some injury woes lately, possibly losing Jamar Chase for the year, and now Josh Allen getting his UCL checked out. That's the Tommy John surgery or injury.
Really? I didn't know that.
So if it's I looked at a thing. If it's a grade 1, he's going to miss like 2 to 3 weeks. If it's a grade 2, he's going to miss 3 to 4 weeks. And if it's higher than that, it's probably the season. So we're all waiting on bated breath to see what happens with that and Josh Allen. But yeah,
I think he's going to try and play.
Yeah,
and then,
100%.
ruin his career.
Yeah, no, it's very possible because they're literally building a stadium for him in Buffalo. So I wouldn't be surprised if he really tries to go all out and try to play through the injury. But 26 from Josh Allen, 20 from Austin Eckler, and Miles Sanders found the end zone and got 15 points. Outside of that, not too much to talk about. Michael Pittman has probably been one of the worst wide receivers to own this year. Outside of 2 games, he's been pretty bad, and he's getting a lot of targets too. But I don't know if that's on him or Matt Ryan or Sam Ellinger or the whole Colts organization who just hired out of the blue Jeff Saturday as the interim coach.
Yeah.
He's like, I just got a call. I didn't even put my name in the ring or anything.
You think they would just hire someone from the staff, maybe?
Right? Like maybe
He's been with the team all year.
Right? This guy's just like, I don't understand. Whatever. They're in a shifty situation, so we'll see what happens. Or a shitty situation. Who knows? So Nick got the win with 95 points. Boo. On the other side, Ian, a super team. Geno Smith, 21.
I really gotta say, and we'll talk about this later, but he's fumbling the bag. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. He's fumbling the bag.
Is this Ian you're talking about?
Yeah.
Dive into that. What do you mean? Like just having a super team and blowing it?
Yeah, and then and blowing it. I mean, there's not much he could do, but
right.
I mean, come on.
84
Losing
points.
record.
Yeah. Not great.
Putting up all points.
Yep.
I don't know.
I know. No, you're right. And it was a tough week. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers had a bye, so McCaffrey had a bye. He put Nyheim Hines in for him and got a big old goose egg there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there wasn't really a move on the bench that he could have used to get better, but yeah, I mean, Leonard Fournette, the whole Bucs offense is kind of a sham. And Lenny is possibly losing his starting job to Rashad White.
I don't know. They were running everyone on Sunday. It seemed like.
How's that song go? Is it Leonard Fournette, baby, he ain't too fast? Or is it
that's good.
That's not bad. Or is it whoa, fat Lenny, bam a lamb, whoa, fat Lenny, bam a lamb? It could be either one. But
the first one, you should stop there.
Okay. Yeah, big win for Nick. With 95 points, and Ian, who really needed it, did not get it. So that's that. All right. I guess it's now time to go to everyone's favorite segment. It's the DUW SVU case of the week.
We gotta definitely write a song about how we do not diddle kids. Do not diddle kids. It's no good diddling kids.
Oh, with the rape.
Yes.
Yes.
And this week we got Dobby.
Sexual assault.
Sexual assault of the week, yes. In this week we got Dobby is a Slave beating Swift Family Robinson by 50 points, 131 to 82. And where do we start with this one? But no one other than Stinky Joe Mixon getting 5 touchdowns. Almost 2, and over 200 yards total. 53 points for Joe Mixon. Never thought I'd see the day. He's been due because I think he had 3 touchdowns going into this week, and now
2.
He had 2 going into this week.
Well, 2 running touchdowns.
Oh, 2 running. Okay.
He's got 6 total.
And yeah, he has not been passing the eye test this year. If you watch him,
or any year really.
Really, I mean, he just he tries to follow his linemen, like Levy and Bell, but he instead of hitting the hole, for quick runs or whatever, but he's just and he's not breaking tackles either. He's just on first contact he's going down. So this was a game he absolutely needed. I'm not sure if it had to do with Jamar Chase being out and then putting their whole game plan into Joe Mixon, but he had a great game. Obviously, probably the best game of the year.
Well, I think he was out. He was out last week too, right? When Burrow went like crazy.
I think so. Yeah. And I don't think he did much. And then, he got a lot from a lot of people. Not so much as quarterback, Mariota, but then Christian Kirk, Jeff Wilson, Darnell Mooney, all found the end zone. And then new Minnesota Viking TJ Hawkinson was peppered with targets, and he ended up getting 11.5 points. Why don't you talk about AP's team, Jeremy?
Oh, that Steven Shitpile he calls a team.
Uh-huh.
And he's trying to like trade. It's a little peek behind the curtain. He's trying to trade players for a first-round draft pick.
Is there anyone?
None of them are worth it.
I was gonna say, is there anyone on his team worth a first?
Ramondre Stevenson's a good running back, but you can't put your faith in that.
It's the main running back's injured, Damian Harris, so he's getting more touches than usual, and it's the Patriots.
It's the Patriots. Yeah.
Like Patriots running backs throughout as long as Belichick's the guy, you never know what he's gonna do. So
and Lamar he's one of the points leaders, but he had those 2 back-to-back weeks where he put up like 40 points back-to-back. But if you look at every other week, he hasn't hit his projection, and who knows what's going on with that team? And they're banged up like crazy. So
yeah, they really have like no healthy bodies. Did you see Deshaun Jackson came back last night?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they activated him from practice, the practice squad, and by the third quarter, he had a hamstring injury, so he's probably done.
Of course.
Yeah,
he hasn't been playing football.
Like fucking clockwork with that guy. And then Juju. Juju's kind of turning it around. It seems like Mahomes is getting more trust in Juju out in Kansas City, and then nobody else really came through.
Yeah, you look at his, like we talk about how hurt Baltimore is. He's got 2 other guys from Baltimore in the starting lineup.
Exactly.
And then just nothing impressive there.
So that's gonna do it for the Bro Down Showdown in the DUW SVU case of the week, which will bring us over to the matchup to watch for Week 10. And the only one that really stuck out was the number 3 overall seed, 100% that Mitch, taking on the number 2 seed, Got That Dog in Him. Right now, Got That Dog in Him is projected to win by 20 points plus right now. I'm not sure if the lineups are completely set. Well, New England's on bye, so he needs to put a defense in there. Jason does. So both are leading their division right now, and both are super teams. Both have gone all in. Both have given up draft picks, and this is a matchup
to watch specifically for you because
I could potentially.
Jason's probably going to stay leading his division, and then it's really, see what happens between you and Ben's.
Yeah, I still have enough.
Although he does have that, he's got that division tiebreaker over you, which is going to be tough to overcome.
Whether it's you win the division or you get in with the wild card, it doesn't really matter. So. Whatever. I'm fine as long as I keep winning games. I don't really care what happens on the other side. Fuck you, Benz. Suck a wiener. All right. Moving on. So we figured since it is the midseason, we can go over some awards. The Oscars, the Emmys, the Grammys, all very prestigious.
Juno Awards.
The SAG Awards. These are all very important things in everyone's life. So we're going to do some superlatives and some mid-season awards. And we just got a few listed here. So the first one, most active on the waivers. This has to go to Ben's. This kid is a psychopath. Every year. I thought him being in Africa or Morocco had something to do with him being such a little waiver pest. He's up early. He's doing this. He's getting the trash on the
carrying pots on his head.
And stuff. Water on the 2 buckets across his shoulders or whatever the hell he's doing. So Ben's by 1 million as far as most active on the waivers. Very impressive. He's I think doubled up. The next closest he has 70. I think the next closest is like 30 or 35.
Wow.
So it's next level waiver trolling. And I guess for the midseason sports, you gotta respect it.
All right, next award goes to look at this, Ian for biggest disappointment.
Yeah,
I think he's won a few of these awards, different parts of his life, but this one particularly for fantasy, like we said in his matchup, he's a super team, you get extra first round pick, and he's got a losing record, and he just can't string it together. It just seems like every week. Players just have a bad game. It's unfortunate, but yeah, biggest disappointment, and especially too when you have the super team, you have that ability to you have the firepower if you need to go out and get someone.
Right.
And it's just not happening. He's not going out and getting it.
Nope. Got to go out and get it.
Those wins aren't going to come to you. You got to reach out and grab it.
Yep. Very true. All right. Next, we'll go on to the Best Girl Award. So I told Nick about this Best Girl Award a few days ago, and he goes, well, who's going to win? I go, probably Amy. And he goes, whoa. So he's already started sending me pictures of him tucking his wiener between his legs, putting makeup on, putting a wig on. I have probably 50 photos of him just tucking it and puckering up, putting lipstick on. But obviously that's all null and void because Amy is going to go.
Those, I want to make fun of them. Just send them to me. I'll make fun of them.
No problem. I'll send those over to you. No problem. But Amy is going to go ahead and win the Best Girl Award. She just, she has all the characteristics to lock it up. And she went ahead and did that. So congratulations to you, Amy, for winning Best Girl Award of the DU League.
You go, girl. Our next award is a Preparing for Next Year award. And it's actually a three-way, an MMF three-way tie between Evan, T-Mac, and Amy.
How about that?
These were the three teams that traded away draft picks already. Amy did it pretty early. Mm-hmm. When did you trade with Evan?
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, yeah.
And then finally, most recently, was T-Mac.
Yeah, I mean, I said, T-Mac was unlucky. Amy was unlucky too. She has actually pretty decent points, but the points against got to her, and her record is like 3-6 or something. So it's not necessarily her fault, Goodwill Hunting style. But
no, and I think she had extra picks going into this year too. So
yeah.
But I don't think there's a really too much harm in cutting and running early this year. I think it makes it a little bit less fun, less competitive. But I mean, if you're trying to win, that's probably what's best for your team.
True. And I think she got a first and a third for next year too. So I think last year she only had an extra third round pick, which is good. Okay. But it's not like
that's not super team.
It's not super team-esque. So she's going all in, and she can do what I did. Like, you have a good draft, and then you trade draft picks next year to add even more to your already existing super team. So she'll be in that position next year, hopefully, if she makes a few good picks. So congratulations to the Preparing for Next Year award. Good job. So now we have the Toilet Bowl award. This is the lowest point total award. And
it's a broken toilet bowl. It doesn't flush, so there's like a turd.
Yes.
There's like a turd in it, and then also there's like old pee in it.
Yeah, and then when you take the top off to try to like see what the problem is, there's shit in there too.
Yeah,
somebody
and there's bees. There's bees nest in there.
And that goes to Adam, Swift Family Robinson. He gave up a first and a third last year, so he had one pick in the first 50 picks. And he spent it on DeAndre Swift, who had a great week 1, maybe a decent week 2, and then got injured and disappeared. And so without your first 3 picks, you're kind of scrambling, and you're really hoping. And he had James Robinson, and James Robinson looked like a legit RB1 through week 3, and then he became absolutely nothing. I don't understand.
Yeah, well, I think they knew they were going to trade him.
Gotcha.
Would be my guess.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Yeah,
and he looked okay, but in New York, it's going to be a committee, so it's like...
Right. So, the Toilet Bowl Award, lowest point total, Adam, Swift Family Robinson. I repeat, that is Adam Petula. He lives Savin Hill in Boston, so if you want to send him a dookie or something, just 106 Savin
Hill.
Put
a poop in a bag and mail it to him.
Yep. That's where he lives.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's it.
Oh wait, actually, there is a special award. Actually, it's a best name in the league. I think this is a very special thing because you have to be creative, you have to be funny, and the picture needs to make sense. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this to you, Jeremy, with Dig's Eye Do That. Because not only are you killing it with the name, Dig's Eye Do That, but then you go to the picture and it's Urkel, but it's not Urkel. It's his alias, his cool
Stefan
alias.
Urkel.
Stefan Diggs, Stefan Urkel. It's
Yeah.
layers on layers.
It's meta.
And it's meta, and I wanted to rightfully give you the best name award. And yeah, I mean, I guess we can move on now because we had a little bit more different show to do, and
I got you something too.
oh really?
Yeah, it's worst. It says worst team name.
Oh,
Yeah.
So wait, Don Juan DeMarco is no?
Yeah, I mean, it's like referencing a movie that I got to imagine. I'm probably one of the only people who've seen it in the league. The picture is good because it is showing Johnny Depp's transformation into a Marlon Brando-esque body type. And then the player, who's this? Who's the player it's talking about?
Saquon Barkley, I guess.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's a little bit of a reach. You know what? Back to the drawing board. I appreciate the cold, hard truth. Sometimes you have to hear it from your co-host and just hear how bad it truly is. So back to the drawing board. It is. I appreciate it.
There you go.
All right, that's pretty much going to be it.
Oh, that's right. It's that time of year. It's the Geller Bowl. Put in some of those like the friends hand claps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's the Geller Bowl. It's that time of year. Same rules as last year. I'm not gonna really. I'll send out everything on the messenger, and then I'll invite everyone. And yeah, let's do it. Let's just make it better than last year. Ben's won last year. Yeah. There is a curse.
Mm-hmm.
We should say no one who's ever won has won the championship.
Yep.
There is a physical trophy, but you do have to pay for shipping. And
do you have it, or does Ben's have it?
I do. I just pulled out of the drawer. I was gonna say junk drawer, but it's not a junk drawer. Yeah, and we got Jeremy 19, Brian Woods 20, and Ben 21.
Love it. And just a reminder what the Geller Bowl is. It is the Thanksgiving slate, the 3 games. We do it DraftKings style.
The 3 games, DraftKings FanDuel.
Like that style, but we do it through Yahoo. Jeremy will send out the invite.
Fantasy.
Yeah, he handles it. Do you remember what the buy-in is? Is it 20?
Yeah, it's 20.
20 that you can send to Nick Bratton on Venmo. That is the Geller Bowl, and winner takes all. Straight up. Winner takes all the money.
There's no second place.
And this is pretty much your buy-in. This is your buy-in for the league. Yep. So if you lose, if you win it, then you get your money back, and you say, I pretty much won the league.
If you're one of like the 3-way participants, like Evan or T Macarini, you take a break and focus on this.
This is it. This is where you get your money back, boys and girl. Best girl won. So yeah, this is gigantic. This is huge.
Who won best boy? Was it 11-way tie?
It was 11-way tie. We couldn't figure it out. So yes, Geller Bowl coming to you.
Everyone got a vote.
This Thanksgiving. Be ready. Be there. Be square. Don't be there and be there or be square.
Alrighty.
All right, that's the Geller Bowl, and I guess we'll just end out with the picks of the week. I don't even know why it's important since we haven't done any of them this year, but I'll just give you 3, and if I can go 3-0.
I'm undefeated. Yeah. Actually, the first week I didn't.
I thought you gave us some. Didn't you give us some dog shit picks like week 1? Oh, barking dogs alert. Barking news. And they all lost pretty badly too, I'm pretty sure. But I guess so. Real quick, Las Vegas at home against Indy -6.5. Like I said, they hired Jeff Saturday, who didn't even want the job. I think they picked his name out of a hat. I'm gonna take Vegas. They suck so bad. They had a 17-point lead against the Jaguars and blew it. They had another
talented team too.
They have a very talented team. Is this just? I know you can have talent, but you need to know how to win. Is this like that type of situation for Vegas right now? Like the head coach? I don't know.
Losers.
They're just losers. Yeah. So I'll take Vegas -6.5.
They don't have an identity.
True. Are they running? Are they passing? Are they defense? No, they're not really any of the above. I don't know. They're kind of a shit show. But I'll take Vegas at home -6.5 because why not? I know, it's a lot of points. Then I'm going to take Pittsburgh -2.5 against New Orleans. I thought New Orleans was going to be much worse than they are this year. They just got wiped at home against Baltimore last night, and I think this is going to be their downhill trajectory for the rest of the season. It started off pretty good, now it's downhill. I'll take.
I just saw too. They don't have a first-round pick next year. The Eagles have it.
Oh yes, yep, and I'm sure.
So this Eagles team, which looks great, they're going to end up with a top 10 pick.
Be even better. I know. No, you're right. And that's in Pittsburgh -2.5. I'll take Pittsburgh because they're coming off a bye week too, so they had an extra time to prepare for this. So who knows? And then I'll just throw out Denver. Denver +3 at the Titans. Titans look pretty good against Kansas City, but I don't know. Denver coming off a bye. I'm just going to take the bye teams, the teams that were on bye last weekend who might be bye, which is fine. It's 2022, whatever. So yeah, give me Vegas, Pittsburgh, and Denver next week. If I go 3-0, I'm cool.
Hey, you think those kids from the show? You think you hear about stuff in Hollywood? You think they got molested?
Which show?
Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, it's a good question. Not sure this is the direction I wanted to go with the Malcolm in the Middle themed episode, but Dewey definitely got molested.
Yeah, Dewey definitely. Reese, I don't know. He's too dirty,
I think Reese tried to stand up for him and be like, hey, stop molesting Dewey, and then he ended up getting molested for trying to stand up for Dewey. Reese got molested and then was like, let it happen to Dewey. Yeah, and it was that guy, the oldest brother's real brother, the one who's being accused of all the rape right now. Danny Masterson was on set molesting all.
He just finished the DJ set on set, and then he molested them, and then also Lois's coworker Craig.
Yeah.
At the store.
Yeah, Craig.
And then probably too was the oldest brothers. Let's say he's in the middle, but he's really not. He's just 4 brothers. Reese is just as much in the middle as he is.
I mean, I guess for the ones who lived at home, he was in the middle, but I don't know. He was always at military school. Maybe the military school guy molested everyone.
The guy with the hook hand?
The guy with the hook hand.
Yeah. He turned out right. He got that hot Alaskan Eskimo wife. She was kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went there and he worked in the pantry for like the lumber yard.
Yeah, and he had like a grandma. I remember there was an episode like a cigarette, like she was smoking a cigarette and the cigarette like burned through her.
Yeah,
she was
fell
trying to take it off her dress.
Yeah,
and it fell through her. And he's like, like that scene was like in the shower.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is a vicious cycle, isn't it? Hollywood, never go.
It's disgusting.
Never go. All right. Well, thanks for joining us,
right.
Jeremy.
Shit, I gotta go.
Talk to you soon. But all right. Bye.
Life is unfair.